Here's more wrestling news for October 27th, 2025. Your headlines for this afternoon include: real reason WWE Backstage panicked and got angry at top superstar revealed, Mercedes Moné's CMLL title defense set, beginning of her downfall, Brock Lesnar officially called out for WrestleMania 42 match in Las Vegas, Naomi's stunning confession took WWE bumps while pregnant, WWE Gold Rush announced cross-promotion with TNA, NXT, Evolve, and AAA confirmed, and more. Following Tiffany Stratton's hard-fought victory over Kiana James on SmackDown, fans expected a routine celebration from the women's champion. Instead, Julia blindsided Stratton from behind, only for Jade Cargill to rush the ring, seemingly to make the save. But what looked like a rescue quickly turned into betrayal. In a stunning twist, Cargill turned heel for the first time in her WWE career, viciously attacking Stratton in a brutal post-match beatdown. Cargill ragdolled the champion around ringside, hurling her into the commentary desk before slamming her knee into the steel steps. Stratton screamed in agony as officials and medical staff rushed to her aid. The broadcast abruptly cut away, with Michael Cole later confirming on commentary that Stratton had suffered a knee injury. Thankfully, Tiffany Stratton was not legitimately injured, and that the entire segment had been meticulously executed to sell the severity of Cargill's turn. However, it wasn't without real concern behind the scenes. WWE officials, including Bruce Pritchard, were reportedly anxious during the live segment, fearing that Stratton might have actually been hurt. According to reports, Pritchard was only calm once he heard from Jamie Noble that Tiffany was okay. That fear was understandable. With over a dozen main roster stars currently sidelined due to injuries heading into Survivor Series and Royal Rumble season, another potential setback would have been disastrous for WWE's ongoing creative plans. Now the conversation turns to what's next. Jade Cargill's heel turn has injected new life into the title scene, but will it pay off in the long run? Is this the right time for WWE to crown her as champion, or should they build her dominance first? And with Cargill now stepping into her villain era, fans are also wondering, could this open the door for Bianca Belair to align with her in a powerhouse alliance that dominates the division? What do you think? Should Bianca Belair join forces with Jade Cargill, or would the two be better off as rivals on a collision course toward WrestleMania? Share your thoughts below. Mercedes Moné set to defend the CMLL Women's World Championship against Olympia on AEW Collision. Mercedes Moné's reign as the CMLL World Women's Champion faces its next major test this week as she defends the title against rising star Olympia on the November 1st episode of AEW Collision. The match was made official during the October 25th edition of Collision after Olympia stepped up and issued a bold open challenge, one that Moné wasted no time accepting. Olympia's rise has been rapid. She made her AEW debut just last week, earning an impressive victory over Taya Valkyrie that immediately put her on the radar. That breakout victory has propelled her straight into the biggest match of her career, a championship clash against one of the most accomplished names in modern wrestling. Moné, who captured the CMLL Women's World Championship at AEW Grand Slam Mexico on June 18th, has already logged 2 successful defenses since then. But Olympia presents a unique challenge, a fearless, powerful up-and-comer with nothing to lose and everything to prove. As we reported earlier this week, this title defense could also mark the beginning of the end for Moné's ongoing belt collector storyline. AEW and CMLL sources have hinted that her championship streak may soon start to unravel, with Moné expected to begin dropping her titles in the coming months. She's also slated to defend the Bestia Women's Championship in Italy before the end of the year, adding even more pressure to her packed international schedule. After AEW made the match official, the former Sasha Banks fired back at critics who have accused her of rarely defending her belts. Taking to Instagram to mock the recurring narrative that she avoids title defenses, she wrote a cheeky post that left no doubt she's aware of the criticism and ready to silence it in the ring. With the Collision set and tensions rising, all eyes now turn to November 1st. Will Mercedes Moné continue her reign of dominance, or could Olympia shock the world and claim her first major championship on AEW television? Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Naomi was competing in front of sold-out crowds, taking big bumps and putting on high-profile WWE matches, all while unknowingly pregnant. That revelation came directly from her husband, Jimmy Uso, who shared the surprising story during an appearance on Cheap Heat. According to Jimmy, the situation was completely unplanned. They didn't even realize Naomi was expecting until after she had already wrestled, with the news coming just one day before her on-air pregnancy announcement. Man, I'll tell you this, the day she announced on Monday Night Raw, we found out on Saturday. Bro, she was pregnant at SummerSlam and everything, and she was getting her ass kicked with a whole baby up in her, and we had no idea. Had no idea, man. Naomi's return had fans celebrating her comeback, but behind the scenes, neither she nor Jimmy realized the physical risks she was taking every time she stepped into the ring. Once they pieced it together, the shock was immediate. Naomi had been performing at full intensity while carrying a child. Thankfully, both Naomi and the baby are perfectly fine, turning what could have been a scary situation into a story of relief and resilience. During NXT Halloween Havoc, WWE dropped a major announcement that took fans by surprise. A new crossover event is coming to one of wrestling's most iconic venues. Gold Rush is officially set to take over the theater at Madison Square Garden for a special 2-week spectacle featuring championship matches from NXT, Evolve, TNA Wrestling, and AAA. The event will air on the CW across 2 consecutive Tuesdays, November 18th and November 25th. This marks one of the most ambitious crossover concepts WWE has unveiled under the new TKO era, blending top-tier talent across multiple promotions. The partnership opens the door to endless possibilities, from interpromotional dream matches to title unification bouts. As of now, no official match card has been confirmed, but anticipation is already sky high. With the Madison Square Garden atmosphere and a mix of global wrestling styles, Gold Rush could become one of the defining events of the year. We'll be keeping a close eye on every announcement leading up to the show. What dream match do you want to see headline Gold Rush? WrestleMania 42 is officially returning to Las Vegas, and one superstar already knows exactly who he wants to face under the bright lights: Brock Lesnar. In a new interview with TMZ Sports, the Nigerian giant Omos made it clear that his dream scenario for next year's WrestleMania is a rematch with the Beast incarnate. Reflecting on his previous WrestleMania experience, Omos described performing on wrestling's biggest stage as one of the defining moments of his career, and now he wants to make history again. Oh man, making the main event last year in Vegas was awesome. Being in that environment, the lights, the energy, the big city vibe, it's incredible. Going back there again, chef's kiss. I'm excited, I'm thrilled to return, and I'm definitely looking forward to being on the card this year. When asked who he hopes to face, Omos didn't hesitate for a second. My dream opponent, since it's going to be even bigger in Vegas, I'll say it, Brock Lesnar. We need to run it back. We need to run it back. Omos and Lesnar previously squared off at WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles, where Lesnar narrowly defeated the towering Nigerian star after a hard-hitting clash that divided fan opinion. Adding to the speculation, Lesnar is already being advertised for WrestleMania 42, making Omos' challenge feel more realistic than ever. If WWE decides to revisit the rivalry, it could become one of the biggest heavyweight battles of the event. Recent Backstage reports suggest Brock Lesnar may soon align himself with The Vision. The rumored plan calls for Lesnar to eventually clash with Braun Breaker, leading to Breaker turning babyface and stepping up to challenge the Beast at WrestleMania 42. If that storyline unfolds, it could set up one of the biggest power feuds in recent WWE history, a symbolic passing of the torch between two of the most dominant athletes of their generations. That makes Omos' challenge even more intriguing. WWE will have to decide which path the Beast takes heading into WrestleMania season, a rematch with Omos, or a collision course with Braun Breaker. Either way, it's shaping up to be a massive year for Lesnar and for whoever dares to stand across the ring from him. So, who would you rather see Brock Lesnar face at WrestleMania 42? Should WWE book Lesnar vs. Omos 2 in Las Vegas, or go all in on Lesnar vs. Breaker for a generational clash? Share your predictions below. This could be one of WWE's biggest WrestleMania decisions yet. In a related update, more details are now emerging about the financial side of this ongoing WWE TNA collaboration, specifically how the crossover talent are being compensated for their appearances. According to Fightful Select, TNA wrestlers who appear on NXT programming are indeed getting paid, but the payout varies depending on their role for the night. Simply being brought in without being used earns the lowest rate, while wrestling in a match increases the figure. Those who appear in main event segments reportedly take home the highest payout of all. This means that TNA wrestlers who closed out the recent NXT Showdown event were compensated at a much higher level than others who appeared earlier on the card or in non-wrestling segments. Interestingly, the report also notes that some NXT stars who wrestled on TNA shows didn't receive any additional pay, suggesting that the compensation structure differs depending on which side of the crossover a performer is on. This new information clears up weeks of speculation among fans who wondered whether former WWE names currently in TNA were being underpaid for their appearances on NXT. As it turns out, their pay is performance-based, and the bigger the spotlight, the bigger the payday. So what do you think? Does this pay model seem fair, or should NXT stars also be compensated when appearing on TNA television? Share your thoughts below. This crossover just keeps getting more interesting. At 84 years old, wrestling legend Abdullah the Butcher is once again battling serious health challenges. According to a report from Book Pro Wrestlers, the hardcore icon has been hospitalized as he continues to deal with multiple medical complications. Wrestling legend Abdullah the Butcher has been hospitalized at 84. The wild man from the Sudan is battling serious health issues. One of wrestling's most feared figures, Abdullah helped shape the sport from Japan to Puerto Rico to Georgia and beyond. Send your prayers, love, and strength his way tonight. This isn't the first time Abdullah has faced health struggles. In July of last year, he was hospitalized due to intestinal problems, leading to the creation of a GoFundMe campaign to help cover his medical expenses. A true pioneer of hardcore wrestling, Abdullah the Butcher's influence stretches across generations and continents, from bloody feuds in Japan to unforgettable wars in Puerto Rico and the United States. As of now, there are no updates on his exact health status, but we'll keep you posted if any new information becomes available. For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.